You're very relaxed. Your eyelids are getting heavy. Remember.
That's long-term memory. You could get lost in there.
Think positive.
Most human beings only use 10% of their brain's capacity.
I have access to 28% of my cerebral capacity. I can feel every living thing. It's like all things that make me human are fading away.
Okay, I'm positive you will get lost in there.
Increment and initialize.
What happened? What did you do to my stomach? What's going on?
If you must blink, do it now. Pay careful attention to everything you see, no matter how unusual it may seem. If you look away, even for an instant, then our hero will surely perish.
Did you guys pick up on that?
Sure did.
Something's wrong. Signal the husband.
Uh-oh, she's looking at us. What did she say?
Oh, sorry, sir. No one was listening.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Everything that you say is contradictory.
You mean to say we have to make choices?
So, Nemo, have you made up your mind? Do you want to come with me? Or do you want to stay with your father? We cannot go back. That's why it's hard to choose. You have to make the right choice. As long as you don't choose, everything remains possible.
You've got my attention. I promise I won't even blink. I actually don't think I even can blink. Do I have eyelids?
Life was given to us 1 billion years ago. What have we done with it?
Alright. A time and again, I get to thinking, scratching my head and thinking some more. Then a question pops up in my mind. One and then another. Should I purpose steering this ship? Lifting a finger and doing the steering to a destination and direction I saw them fit? Should I really? Or should I just let the sea waves, the sail, and the wind do their thing? Then I get to thinking, a good sailor takes control of the ship. A good sailor brings down the sail when the wind proves her incompetence to his journey. A good sailor steers the ship away from the iceberg, taking no chances. A good sailor, am I such a good sailor in this sea of life? I should keep thinking, sure there's an answer in here somewhere.
Like most living creatures, the pigeon quickly associates the pressing of the lever and the reward. But when a timer releases a seed automatically every 20 seconds, the pigeon wonders, what did I do to deserve this? If it was flapping its wings at the time, it'll continue to flap, convinced that its actions have a decisive influence on what happens.
Life was given to me nearly 30 years ago. What have I done with it? Why does one do what they do? What motivates them to do what they do? A good sailor cleans his ship, dusting it up, clearing the cobwebs, spending hours and hours in his ship, his lab, doing ship things. A good sailor, am I such? Why do I do what I do? What motivates me to do what I do? Is it that my hands are tied and there is no choice? Like the mouse and bait, there is no choice. Need cheese, bait got it. And now the mouse is trapped. My hands are tied. Is it a handful of notes? That's right, selling out to the lowest bidder. Why does one do what they do? For the cheers and boos from the almighty crowd, the Christ crucifying crowd, the Moses disappointing crowd. For the boos and cheers, a soft whisper in your ear, and you are trapped. Your lower self now has you trapped in a small cage, one of your own making, with a soft whisper, and you are blinded and trapped.
I don't want a job.
Once upon a time, there was a daddy and a mummy. They found a cute little baby. The little baby was born there. He was born that day, and not another. Everything we see exists. We can see it. I can see Mummy's eyes, but I can't see my eyes. The little baby can see his hands, but he cannot see himself. So, does he really exist? Do I really exist? The mummy has a brush for her hair and lipstick for her lips. Daddy has a watch and hair on his arm. Why am I me and not someone else? Why do we remember the past, but not the future?
What happens when one opens their eyes, opens them and they are not blinded no more, not blinded and caged?
If we live in a universe of wound dimensions, how do we distinguish between illusion and reality?
If you mix the mashed potatoes and the sauce, you can't separate them later. The smoke comes out of Daddy's cigarette, but it never goes back in. it's forever.
Light. Light happens and the darkness is gone. Light. Light travels from the source, hitting an object in one's vicinity, hitting it and reflecting to the one's opened eyes, traveling from the eyes to the brain. And now the magic happens. An image is formed. The mind now interprets the formed image, interprets it, and infers in reference to the perception and the knowledge hidden therein. Now the said one acts or reacts in respect to this interpretation. Question. Does the object exist outside or inside the brain? There would have not been any object were it not for the brain and the mind's interpretation of the formed image. Is it safe to say that one's reality is as good as one's perception of the said reality? Perception in the interpretation of the image of the reality in question.
On that day, I will make a lot of foolish decisions.
1. I will never leave anything to chance again. 2. I will marry the girl on my motorcycle. 3. I'll be rich. 4. We'll have a house and 2 children, Paul and Michael. 5. I'll have a convertible, a red convertible. 6. I will not stop until I've succeeded.
It all happens in the mind, through the brain, in association with all the 5 senses and light. Why does one do what they do, and yet reality is as one deems fit?
Do I matter to you? Did you do it on purpose? I found this on the bedside table. There comes a time in life when everything seems narrow. Choices have been made. I can only continue on. I know myself like the back of my hand. I can predict my every reaction. Everything is predictable. My life has been cast in cement with airbags and seat belts. I've controlled everything. I've done everything to reach this point, and now that I'm here, I'm fucking bored. The hardest thing is knowing whether I'm still alive.
The mind and the image therein, the sailor. The sailor takes control of the ship. That is his whole purpose. The brain, the mind, and the image therein.
Every path is the right path.
Altered perception for the ultimate slice of life. Look around. Every unnatural thing you see is made up. A good sailor, at times, does nothing.
In chess, it's called Zugzwang, when the only viable move
is not to move.
Holy! Oh, yes! Everything that you said, everything that came out your mouth is true.